Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another Unfiltered stream. I am Sam, also known as BrickKeeper, and today I have some awesome guests, and I've gone for a little bit different today. I've got them on the stream straight away because we're just going to dive straight into the chaos.
Embrace the chaos.
Exactly. We have Scott Bowman from Idea Bit Brickworks and Cut the Craggle, the one, the only.
The one and only, yeah. How many more craggles do you need? I think one is
none. No more.
Well, technically, I know Mrs. Craggle, so does that count?
That's true. I was getting a bit worried there because you said, "All right, we're going to start now," and you clicked the video with the countdown, and it was still showing the schedule. I was like, "Yeah, you also have to hit live as well, Sam."
Oh, mate, that button didn't want to press it. I clicked go live, and it was going. Really? Are you sure? I'm like, go live, go.
I fully expected you to go, "Good evening," and start doing anything. I'm like, Sam, we haven't gone live yet.
I'm not pulling one of those out. I've seen people do that
Not
before.
that ever happens.
How are we all this evening?
We are all fine.
Or this afternoon, in your case, Scott.
Yes, it is.
That's true. Yeah.
All good. All good.
All good.
Yeah.
Excellent. We've got a couple people in the chat. We have Jacob Neely, who starts with Yay Chaos.
Hey.
And we also have Clicking Cliff. Good to see you.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Good to see you.
So,
I was on Cliff's live stream early hours this morning, actually.
Really? Wow.
I had a great thing where I got tired. I went to bed. Did my routine, when you brush your teeth and you're getting dressed, you get into bed, you lay down, set your alarm, and then all of a sudden it was like, ding, 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 wake up. So I tossed and I turned and I couldn't sleep, so I came back downstairs and I was playing Xbox, and in between, waiting for the matchmaking on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I saw that Cliff was going live on Instagram, so I messaged him and said, "Hey, you're going live. Send me an invite."
Oh, very nice.
Something like that. So yeah. But after about an hour, I realized that I really needed to go to bed and go to sleep because it was going to be
slurring your words.
Well, I realized that if I went to bed at that exact moment, I'd have 3 hours sleep before my shift started. So
I do want to clarify. You said you got tired, not that you got fired.
Oh yes, tired.
Because then it could explain why you woke up and couldn't sleep. But
no, it's one of those classic things where it often happens with the missus. Like, I'll go, "Oh, I'm not good. I'm going to bed," and she'll go, "All right." I'm like, "You're not tired yet?" She's like, "No, I'll come to bed with you anyway. I might just read in bed." But she'll go to sleep straight away, and she'll go out like a light. Meanwhile, me, the tired one, is there going, "Why can't I sleep? Why can't I sleep? Look at my phone. If I go to sleep now, I'll have 7 hours sleep. If I go to sleep now, I'll have 6 hours sleep. If I go to sleep now, I'll have 5 hours sleep. Like, just go to sleep." It's so unfair.
Yeah, I'm the person who can fall asleep anywhere in our house. I
can your military
that quickly.
She'll sleep for like 10 hours, right? And she'll come down, see me who hasn't actually slept a wink, and she'll go, "Oh, I'm still tired." I'm like, "You're still tired."
Speaking of Mrs. Craggle, she is here. She is watching the show. So, evening, Mrs. Craggle.
Hello.
Does that mean I got to be careful?
And Lady Sam.
Oh, yes, Lady Sam as well. How could I forget? That's me sleeping on the sofa.
She's just in the other room.
Yeah, literally, she is right there.
Now that you have multiple rooms,
this is it, right? Having multiple rooms is such a novelty. I don't know how I survived without it.
It's funny because we said she's right there. You pointed to Wall Rocket Ajax as if like that. You misses.
Yes, I did. And speaking of Wall Rocket Ajax, it's coming along quite nicely.
It's the biggest lightsaber hilt I've ever seen.
And it takes I can't do it with two hands, mate. No.
But you put the filter back on?
It will be quite large when it's built, and hopefully I get some more bricks that arrive in the next few days. That means I can build some more.
Do you want to tell the audience though what happened when you sent me a certain picture of that in the week?
Is that the one with the minifig on it, by any chance?
Yeah. So he sent me a picture of that with a minifigure on the interior and said it's not quite minifigure size. So basically, we just like sort of like cut off at the top of the hairpiece.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what he was thinking. I was like, does that mean you're going to make it even bigger? And it was like a long pause, and then possibly.
Right. Okay. So the thing is, I know we talked about it at least once, where we said maybe we should find out if this is minifigure scale. So
Yeah.
then I was like, do you know what? That's a cool idea. Whilst I'm working away and I've got it half built, let's put a minifigure in there and see what happens. Yeah, no.
Yeah, not quite enough room. Although, to be honest, that's like how it happened with the Stargate. Because I remember originally you were just making the Stargate as like a kind of display piece.
Yeah.
And I said to you, this is looking close to minifig scale. I mean, I was going to do minifigs for it anyway. That's kind of how I sort of bullied you into getting it off your ass and doing something that you've been talking about for ages.
Yeah,
they were going to just be like a UCS thing, like in front of it. They weren't meant to, be able to use like a play set, but that was like a happy accident, I think.
Yeah, and do you know what? That I still look at that, and
I've still got.
It's one of my favourites.
We've still got Mrs. Craggle's one on display because it is hers.
Yeah.
I love Stargate SG-1 as well, but she's the big Stargate fan because she likes all the crappy spin-offs as well.
But see, I look at the mocks I've done, and bear in mind I've got 1, 2, 3. The fourth isn't here because, well, I don't have it anymore.
Is that the big blue one?
Maybe. And
you forgot to put the handbrake on. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just flown off.
It's just drifted into time and space.
And I do look at it, and it is my favourite.
Really?
Out of all the ones I've designed, it's even more so than the Black Arrow, and Joe will hate me for saying that because I've said that a round thing is better than a phallic-shaped object. But yeah, it really is my favourite. I don't know why. I enjoyed doing it, and I think the minifigs really bring it all together, and it just makes it look amazing. And I sit here looking at it, I've just got a smile on my face.
You did an excellent job. I loved it. The missus loved it. I enjoyed doing the video on it as well. Oh.
And the instructions they are selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are going. I actually got someone the other day. I think it might have been yesterday. Bought 2 things from my Etsy shop. They bought the Stargate instructions and the TARDIS instructions at the same time.
Nice. You do definitely need to get on the. Well, I think you've shown that on them anyway. The sonic screwdrivers.
Oh yeah, I need to get back on that.
I feel like because there's such a smaller thing on there, I feel like you might draw someone in with the TARDIS, and then like Joe has said with some of his ones, people go, "Oh, that costs too much to build. I can't afford that." But then they'll see like the sonic screwdriver and go, "Well, that's cheaper. I'll give that a go." And that could be like an impulse buy.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like, anyway.
I'm in the process of starting to acquire bricks for the TARDIS again because not having my own one here, it hurts. It hurts. I look around and I go, "There's no blue. Where is the blue?"
Oh, you make me feel guilty now.
Oh, don't feel guilty. No, it's my own. It's just me wanting more Lego, really.
Well, you've also got a couple more projects. Like I said at the end of the Real Ghostbusters Ecto 2 video that we're working on another Real Ghostbusters one.
Yes, that is not off my radar.
That's just on the edges of your radar.
Yeah, it's like hanging right there on the edge. But no, with January being a little bit of a crazy month for me, seeing family and sorting out various bits, I've kind of given the family more attention than Lego, as I quite rightly should. So I will be back to doing lots of Lego now because, well,
Do we want to say what the other thing that no?
Well, did we not, or did we do it on a members only stream somewhere?
We've talked about the we haven't said what it. I think we on a members only stream we said what is the second real Ghostbusters thing that we're working on. I was thinking, do we want to talk about the other collaboration thing that we're doing?
Oh, the one that's got the end of the month deadline.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna do an official announcement once they're done on my own channel, but we can talk about it here if you want to.
Yeah, it is the end of the month.
Oh, you mean it's the end of February?
End of February.
But yeah,
to be
specific, on target.
Recently, over the last 4 weeks, I did a wave of custom sets that I designed, along with minifigures and packaging and everything, based on the new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. I mean, I'm still calling it new, even though but it came out on DVD and Blu-ray, at least in the UK here today. And it was basically, I was doing 4 sets, 1 a week in the run-up to the home release. And the first set I designed, actually, was the last one that I did a video on, which was the big one. It was basically... have you seen the film, Total Scott? Have you seen Ghostbusters Afterlife?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, I won't go into too much spoilers, but it was based on this big farmhouse that is like the main location there. With a couple of side builds, bunch of minifigures, and it was like when I say a building, it was like how a Lego would do a building, where it's like 3 walls, the facade, and a bit of an interior, and so on.
Like the Stranger Things house.
Yeah, like the Stranger Things. That was kind of an influence on how I approached it. So when I was pretty much like 99.5% done, and Sam had been giving me ideas and helping me, support me, and giving me tips on it as we went along, Sam decided that he wanted to build it for real.
Yeah.
So, in order to do that, he said he was going to make instructions for it.
And obviously color correct certain things to be decent.
Available.
Yeah, available colors and decent bricks and not outrageously expensive, because I could pretty much guarantee I wouldn't be the only one who'd want to build this.
So yeah, so I didn't
involved when you decided that.
Pardon?
Were adult beverages involved when you made that decision?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so. No.
You were just high on life.
Disappointing.
It was just on a private call, I think, wasn't it? Or it was on after stream, maybe.
I think it was on an after stream.
I remember I was upstairs at my desk, and we were on a video chat, and you were like, "I need to build this."
Yeah.
And I remember the missus she had joined me. She was like on my shoulder, and she was like, "I've been saying that." And you were like, "Well, in this case, let's do some instructions on it." And we had a few more conversations. And once they're done, we are going to be putting the instructions out there. So,
software.
Yeah, we need to. Well, they're going to be made available in some way. I think we need to.
Yeah, we got to finalize the discussions and the how tos and whatnots on that. And but yes, they will be available.
Yeah, and we've got some cool ideas. I think they're going to look fantastic as well. They're going to be like, not just sort of studio auto instructions, export PDF. Sam is going to put his proper, level of quality on them. I've given him some ideas of things I'd like to see on there as well. I'm very excited for him.
Yeah, well, like I said before, all my love for doing the instructions side of things these days comes from people like Scott and Joe, who have shown me what they've done and how they do it, and I've gone, I like that.
I need to take some of this credit because I was the one who said, "Oh, you should do the instructions for the Stargate on black," and you were resistant to that.
I've said you will always get good credit for that because that was a winner of a decision.
But what's so funny is that since you did that, and Joe's seen it, he now wants to do instructions on black as well.
Yeah, he does like it, and we have another guest.
Oh,
we do indeed. He is another man from Idaho It's Space Time Brick Studio.
Whoa!
Ooh, somebody scared
How's
you?
it going?
You're,
Good. I just finally got my third COVID shot.
hey,
wow.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'll be a living god now.
Have you checked your phone signal to see if you're getting 5G?
Let me check. Not yet.
It's not kicked in yet. You got to wait 12 hours.
I don't know what I don't believe in this conspiracy theory about microchips in the vaccine, but I will say that every time I fart, it sounds like a dial-up modem.
Well, mine was a little chunky going in. It was, it was the shape of the microchip.
Okay.
I meant the vaccine.
Can I vote to put the filter back on, please?
Unfortunately, Scott, this isn't a democracy.
Of course, we don't have one now, it seems, either.
So I just feel like everyone took me out of context there. I meant my
I know
back.
when you said chunky, I was thinking of something else, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it was a poor choice in words.
It was.
So what are you making instructions for? I was eavesdropping.
Oh, so we are making instructions for the Dirt Farm Ghostbusters Afterlife set.
Ah.
I feel like you were there when we made that choice.
Yeah, I thought you were on that conversation.
No.
Huh?
I know you briefly mentioned something about it on Saturday during our private call.
Oh, I must be remembering this wrong, because I even thought there might have been like in the sort of post show of one of your streams that we decided it.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Maybe it was
It has been a while, in all fairness, because it was before I decided to make a full.
I mean, if it was last week, I got out of there pretty quickly because I wasn't feeling well.
Oh no! This was like end of last year. It was when I only was working on just doing one Ghostbusters Afterlife set.
Oh, okay.
So,
but no, yes, we are. I'm looking forward to those instructions because they're going to be so cool.
And I can't say anything for certain yet. I've had an agreement in principle, but I need to, again, confirm details. But I am hoping that some of my minifigure designs will be available to buy as custom minifigures as well. Hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. I need to agree some things. It's agreed in principle, but there's still a lot of stuff we need to work out.
Are we trying to make sure we don't have another Studgate scenario?
Something like that. There's also something else as well that I need to work out. Nothing bad, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and everything with it.
It's okay. I'm just gonna message them and be like, "Hey, I need my 3 copies for my mock."
Yes, I know you want a Goza minifig,
so I can put it up on Lego Ideas.
I mean, obviously, stuff that has like custom molds, we won't be able to do, so it won't be a Muncher minifig, much to my own disappointment. If anyone knows anything about 3D prints and wants to have a go, I'm happy to sort of work with them on that. But
yeah, I mean, you already have the model for it. You just need to export it as an STL.
Okay.
I have a 3D printer at the office.
Too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you can find someone who has a 3D printer.
We have one at the office.
Oh, I don't know how you get the actual like decal type print on it though. Like
the
face on it. Yeah, that would be difficult. You'd have to paint it or something.
Yeah,
it's a bit more difficult when we have limited resources, but yeah.
I mean, you could just go buy a pad printer.
Yeah, but on the Muncher, it's on a round surface as well, which I think would be difficult.
Oh, I could handle it. It's just $20,000.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you have to change out the print heads for every print you want to do.
Oh wow! But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to work. Hopefully we'll be able to get some on there. We might not be able to get every single minifigure from that set, but I'm hoping we'll be able to get a selection of like the main ones people want and maybe a couple of minifigures from the other sets as well.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. Because you had a lot of great designs in those sets, mate. Really
thank you. Do you know, honestly though, my favorite set in terms of the one that I'm most happy with, and I think looks most like an actual set, is probably the smallest one, the Proton training set.
Really?
Yeah, I absolutely, and I know this is me blow my own trumpet, but I absolutely adore the podcast and Phoebe minifigure in that. I think they came out great.
Speaking of podcasts, I just recorded another episode before I got on here.
No way.
Yes,
Did you really?
Your weekly podcast, which you haven't done in like how long?
Yeah, right.
No, this is the movie one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Star
alright.
Trek.
We discussed chapters 4 and 5 of the Book of Boba Fett this week.
Oh.
That's TV.
I haven't
not
watched
one.
that, so no spoiling yet.
Oh, really? Have you watched any of it yet?
Oh yeah, no, I'm a couple episodes behind.
Okay.
So
I jumped down a couple of YouTube holes related to some very incredible car constructions, and so I had to catch up like 80 episodes on one of them. So,
but yeah, our discussion on chapters 1 through 3 should be out later this week.
Cool.
Amazing.
I feel like I'm gonna know most of what you're gonna say because me and the Spaceman actually had a good conversation about it the other night.
Yeah, it definitely influenced a lot what we discussed.
Oh, okay.
And we definitely switched it up this episode because we were getting in the bad habit of just going over every plot point of the episodes. And this one's going to be a more open discussion on what's working and what's not working, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
So just trying to, get better at it because it's like...
I'm still waiting for my invite for when you talk about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it'll be... Because there'll be an episode on Ghostbusters / Ghostbusters 2, and I think Afterlife will be its own episode. Because my friend is like you, Craggle, really enjoyed Afterlife, and then
you said that like it's a really bad thing.
No.
He's like you. He enjoyed Afterlife.
I mean, I have my problems with it. It is leaps and bounds better than 2016.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this the other day and about my love for it. And you've only seen the film once, right?
That is true.
I feel like it's a film that your affection for grows with each viewing. Because the first time, I think we had a conversation, I said, I loved it, but I'm also aware of its flaws and there was things in there. But the more I watch it, the less sort of bothered I get about the flaws, and the more I just think, oh, this is so much fun. This is such a great, legacy on there. And I feel like maybe I'm wrong because I know you do have a very critical mind like me, but maybe I think after a couple more viewings, you won't think of it so harshly. Maybe
we'll see. I should be getting my Blu-ray this week,
and
then
we've got ours. I'm not watching it because I'm currently on Sam's stream. That's how much Sam means to me.
And I guess there's going to be a card inside of it, so you can get a digital version of 2016.
Not an our one, no. This is the one thing that has really annoyed me, is that we ordered the Ultimate Collector's Edition, which we all thought looked like it had the exact same spec as the American one, the same packaging. But then someone pointed out that it looked like they had photoshopped the LED lights out of it, which began people sort of saying, "Oh, are we going to get ripped off in Britain?" It's already double the price of the US version.
Well, the US version's $150.
Well, most places in the US have been selling it for about $110.
Okay, because I bought it from Walmart for $100.
Okay,
but Amazon had it for $150 and Best Buy had it for $150. But anyway,
but it's £150 here in the UK, which in US dollars, as I look, is about $202. So that gives you an idea of if most places are selling it for 100, 110, it's basically double. I can confirm I haven't had it, that it does not have the LED lights, even though, funny enough, it still has the little switch thing on the top for the LED lights.
So wait, it actually supposed to light up?
There's no lights in it whatsoever.
Well, I meant the US version.
What do you mean? It lights up.
Oh, I didn't know that it lit up. I just
Okay.
bought it. I just
It lights up.
okay.
The other thing is that in the US version, the 3 films have these nice cardboard slip sleeves that make them all look uniform, where they're like sort of plain matte black with that movie's logo on the front, and then like a artwork piece of the villain on the back. The UK one does not have that. You have 3 mismatching regular 4K Blu-ray plastic cases.
Okay.
And on top of that, we also do not have digital codes for any of the films.
Oh,
Now, they're all minor things, like digital codes I probably wouldn't end up using, but it's still like, basically, we're paying double for less in the UK.
I was
welcome to Brexit.
I was gonna make a short video of taking the digital code for 2016 and just burning it, so nobody. But I would make sure I would blur it out in the video. So
Have you seen the someone did the meme? I think it's on my Discord. From, do you know in Family Guy when he goes to get Roadhouse and the guy's like, you get a free copy of What Dreams May Come, and he's like, if that so much as touches it, I will kill you. And they basically replaced it with, I want to buy this Ghostbusters Ultimate Collection. Fantastic. And for free, you get a digital copy of Ghostbusters 2016. If that piece of paper so much as touches the box set, I will kill you.
I like how Paul Feig called them out on Twitter, and then he just gets roasted for it. It's like, I feel like they're missing a movie. And I'm like, no, I think they got them all.
I mean, the thing is that it's not even in the same continuity. And other franchises where they've, sort of like disregarded movies and sort of rebooted the continuity, or they've, ignored a certain sequel, they haven't had the same, crap for it. I'm looking at you, Terminator. But there was such a big deal made about the
No
Christmas
fate,
of
but
2016. Huh?
Oh, I was going to say no fate, but what you make.
But the thing with Ghostbusters 2016 is that there was this whole narrative that was pushed in the media that the only criticism of the film was from sexist people, which, yes, there was, but there was also a lot of criticism because the film itself was crap.
Yeah.
And because the people involved in making it were terrible, particularly Paul Feig or whatever his name is. I mean, just looking at what he was saying about the film going into it, where he was just like, "Oh, I'm just like having fun, making it up as I go along." What?
Yeah, pal, that's not what you do with Ghostbusters.
That's the George Lucas approach.
How did that work out?
And then rework it 3 times, right?
I
Well,
wouldn't
yeah.
say that's the George Lucas approach. I would say that's the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy approach.
Well, I mean, it started with the prequels because they literally started shooting before the scripts were finished. But there's this one interview. I think it was with someone in the UK talking about his big plan roadmap for everything. He's like, "Oh, you're just George Lucas. He makes it up as he goes along."
He definitely changed a lot between the original trilogy and the prequels. But even with all that, though, at least the prequels still have that one through line of Anakin's, character arc throughout the 3 films about him not being able to let go of his attachment to people. And that
Is it really a character arc, or is it more of a triangle with the sharp turns? Oh, I'm a bad guy now. It's like gradual and changing. It's like that was a joke.
I think you broke Craggle.
I think I did.
I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about it, to be honest with you. It's
Okay. I did a geometry joke.
Oh god, my mic just decided to fall down. I think my microphone's a prequel fan. There we go. You okay now? Yeah, good. No, I don't really have anything to say. I mean, I would just basically say that I feel like I like a lot of prequels. I like the stuff on there. Are they perfect? No. Am I peed off because they don't match up with the backstory that we got in the original trilogy? Definitely. But at the end of the day, there's still a better trilogy than the sequel films.
Yeah, I'd go with that. They're a better trilogy than the sequel films, definitely.
Yeah. But,
I mean,
yeah.
I constantly go back and watch episode 3.
And to bring it back to Ghostbusters Afterlife, I did say this to Spacetime on our private call, and I said that Phoebe Spengler is the character that Disney wishes Rey Skywalker was.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The kind of strong female legacies, also next generation character.
Yeah.
But done well, as opposed to you must like this character. Why? Because the studio execs are telling you to.
Because the studio says you must.
And the thing was, I did like her character in the first film because I thought there was more depth to it. I thought there was more in her backstory. I thought there was more stuff to it. I thought there was a plan.
Yeah, when I first heard about the sequel trilogy, it was a case of, okay, see where they're going with this. And when I heard the plot line to The Force Awakens, I just went, that sounds awfully familiar.
See, I didn't even know the plot line going into it because we went and saw it like as soon as it came out. And I remember watching it going, I know the whole, like George Lucas says, they rhyme, but this feels very similar to New Hope. But I still felt there was enough new stuff in there that they were building on. Like, give you an example, like, do you know the whole thing of Rey's power just becomes exponentially throughout even The Force Awakens from nowhere?
It comes from nowhere and then literally doubles, triples throughout.
I used to theorize before, like, The Last Jedi came out. I said, I think that Kylo Ren's to blame for that. I think that there's something in her backstory that either like kind of like I guess like the Jean Grey thing in X-Men where there was like a mental block in her mind or something that someone's put in place to like hide her memories or hide her training. And when Kylo Ren went in there looking for the map to Luke Skywalker, he accidentally broke down that barrier because he even has a line when he says her power's only going to grow the longer we take to catch her.
Yeah.
So, but no, they just put stuff out there, and
foolish Craggle. It was a dyad in the Force.
Is that
every once in 1,000 generations?
Oh yeah, and of course now they're retconning it now and saying that the rule of 2 from the Sith was the Sith trying to force a new dyad, and that's what Palpatine wanted Anakin for because he wanted to be Anakin's dyad in the Force. It's like, oh, for God's sake.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Yes, Jacob, I agree. I should have wrote the sequels.
Yes, Jacob says that Craggle should have wrote the sequels because that sounds like a cool story.
Do you know also how I think I've told you this, Sam, as well. My idea for Luke Skywalker, right? Han says he went looking for the first Jedi Temple. And there was that massively cool, score by John Williams, and he said that the direction he got was this is a really sacred place full of mystique and, great power. Act 2, the temple there.
Yeah.
In Last Jedi, we find out he just went somewhere where he could die, although he didn't want to kill himself. He just wanted to be alone until he died. Apparently,
It was Ireland.
So it's like, Ireland. I mean, the thing is what annoys me as well is that when we see him in The Last Jedi, he says that he's, turned his back on the Jedi Order, but he went to the beginnings of the Jedi Order to die.
Yeah.
In my original thing before The Last Jedi came out, I thought that he had gone there to gain some ancient knowledge of the Jedi that was lost. Because, a big thing that people said with the prequels is the Jedi got too complacent, they got too dogmatic, too involved in the politics of the Republic, and then kind of lost their way. Yeah. I thought he was going back to find some ancient knowledge. And when I thought about that more, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if he was going back, trying to find a way to communicate with the dead? And when I say the dead, one thing that was always in Legends is that Jedi, people use the light side of the Force, they can become Force ghosts because they essentially ascend, right? They're through enlightenment. Sith can't come back as ghosts. not by natural means. There are a couple of instances where they've locked onto a certain object or something, or they've inhabited someone else. But realistically, they can't become force ghosts.
Yeah.
And that is kind of like reflected in how materialistic they are, how consumed they are with the crude form, as puts it. So I thought, what if Luke was trying to find a way to communicate with Palpatine, because Palpatine had knowledge of a new threat, and that was what the sequel trilogy was going to be about. Then was about this new threat from the unknown regions, kind of like the Fusang Hong from the old books, and the New Jedi Order.
That was such a good storyline.
Because in the books leading up to it, Aftermath and stuff, which they released, that was set after Return of the Jedi, before The Force Awakens, they keep on talking about the unknown regions in that, and I was like, they're going to do a version of the Fusang Hong, so.
Well, in those books, in the Yuzhan Vong books, that's what's part of one of the scenes in that book. I think it was those books, is what inspired the whole. Spoilers for anybody who's not seen it. The whole Leia flying through space thing.
Is it? Oh God!
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because there is a scene in there. I think it's one of those books. So basically, Luke's X-wing, he's flying to one of the core planets in the Vong system, I think it is, and he's going there to basically deal with the threat. And his X-wing gets shot out of the sky, shot in space and blown up. And I distinctly remember there's a paragraph in that book that basically says he basically held his breath, he lowered it, he let the force flow through him.
Actually, I do remember something like that.
Yeah,
when you were talking about that, I was also thinking of, do you know in the Courtship of Princess Leia, you were talking about that book as well? Because I won't say the reference to it, but there was a reference to it in the Book of Boba Fett, but I won't say, because I think if Joe's a couple episodes behind, sorry, Scott's a couple episodes behind, it might be a spoiler. But anyway, in that book, when they're Luke and the Prince are sort of going basically through the atmosphere on Dathomir to land, his X-wing gets shot and it gets damaged, and it says he gets out of it, but the ejector seat thing doesn't work, and it says that the way he gets there is he basically treads water in the air down. It sounds terrible. The way it's worded in the book, it sounds so cool, because the prince looks over and sees him doing this and goes, "Oh, that must be why they're called Skywalkers," And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But no, but the way he does it sounds cool. You think about how in our particularly in I guess in in England history, old English names come the surnames from what people did and stuff like that.
Bowman, you mean?
Yeah, it sounds like something that could work, and I like the imagery of Luke sort of basically treading water but in the air down, just to sort of save. It's still a rough landing for him, but it basically anyone else would just fall and die.
So did your ancestors make the front of ships, or the things that propel arrows?
That's a really good question. I don't think I can ask them. They're
I'm gonna go up the front of ships.
Pretty dead.
No, actually, they were allergic to insect bites, because one got stung by a bee and went, "Bee, ow!" And I went, "Oh, you're the bee ow man."
Or maybe it's bow ties.
Okay, you were doing really well there, right up until then.
I think I killed Sam.
I was liking all your plot twists.
No, that book, The Courtship of Princess Leia, I have fond memories of, because it was one of the first more adult Star Wars books that I got. And I remember when I got it, I was like, this looks terrible. It had Princess Leia in a wedding dress on the front. It's called The Courtship of Princess Leia. I was like, this sounds awful, but it's actually quite a really good book.
Good book.
Good action in it. It introduced some new stuff that has, made
Wasn't
its
that
way
also
into
the book where she started, or was it the same line of books where she discovered basically her grandmother, Shmi?
No, this is before the prequels came out. This book.
There's a book somewhere
Because in this one, because there's mentions of the Republic and stuff, Luke does find a holocron that has footage of a younger Yoda in the times, I guess, of what now would be called the High Republic, like, about a couple hundred years before the original trilogy, which is very cool. I miss the ODU. It was so much more inventive, and like when they dealt, even before the prequel. I mean, when they did the prequels, they kind of had to do a little bit of shuffle.
You saying Disney's not creative enough for you?
No.
Like before even the prequels came out, when they talked about the past, their version, like in the books and media then of like the Jedi before the original trilogy, lined up so much better with what's described by Obi-Wan and Yoda in Star Wars and Empire and Return of the Jedi than what we actually got.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I think the heartbreaking thing for me was when Disney took over, and one of the first few announcements was the expanded universe is now not canon.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What?"
Do you know
there was so much good content in there, and so much work by every author who contributed to the expanded universe to line their stories up with each other's.
And you know what? I think it's telling now that the most excitement that comes with recent Star Wars announcements is when something from the old canon is reintroduced. Like the whole reaction of when they brought Thrawn back was amazing. Like, that thing mentioned that we talked about, I can't say because Scott's here, about that one episode. When that happened online, people were like, "Oh, that's a reference to this story," When Boba Fett, I know Boba Fett was never taken out of canon because obviously he was in the films, but when they brought him in and they showed him how he was in like the Dark Horse comics and stuff, in Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah,
it's just like and whenever anyone female gets cast of a certain age, everyone hopes it's marriage age,
I'm waiting for marriage age because again, that was such a fantastic that whole storyline was one of my first trilogy books I read.
So, I mean, you guys get into it in a very granular micro, and I look at it as entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I think about the latest 3 movies, to me, it's more there are episodes that come out of that, like when Princess Leia is blown out of the ship and comes back. To me, that was a fabulous scene, well played. Like when Luke was in the middle of that firestorm, that whole fight scene, until you realize that he's not actually there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't connect it together as well, but
yeah,
the fight scene with the Emperor.
So he can't get killed, and then they kill him off anyway.
Yeah.
The Princess Leia being blown out of the ship was actually a scene that never bothered me, because I always looked at it. Okay. I took a physics standpoint from it because you have force, pull, and push. She was just pulling on the starship, and so she wasn't flying. She was just using the force.
So why isn't she burnt though?
What's that?
Because before that though, you see flames engulf her. So the flames would have killed her, not the vacuum of space.
Well, she used the Jesus powers that Rey had in the next episode.
Oh, okay. I understand now.
Jesus was the first Jedi.
Well, and lots of people survive explosions, and it looks like they're in the fire, but they're being propelled away.
Well, in that case, then, she shouldn't have been in space. She should have been flattened against the wall that she was stood next to.
So she was sucked out. I don't remember that.
But I love the fact that Space-Time is defending the scene in The Last Jedi based on physics, when the whole of The Last Jedi is basically a middle finger to the laws of physics with
Well,
like
the
spaceships
whole thing.
falling in space when they run out of fuel.
Well, I told you that was just the one scene I didn't have a problem with. There's other scenes I have problems with.
They have bombers in space which are slower because they're heavier, because we know that, gravity in space, and then they drop bombs on top of another spaceship in space.
Okay, if we want to tear this apart, I will. That whole entire opening scene makes no sense.
No.
They command them to go do a bombing run on the dreadnought, the battleship, whatever. And it's like, okay, that makes perfect tactical sense. But from the First Order side, they're like, oh, we need to fire on that base and destroy it. And it's like, no, you need to be shooting at the capital ship that's trying to get away. You want to save that base because you're going to send SS officers down there to do intel and just see whatever you can get.
But also, when they said we can't because they dropped the hyperspace and they're just going normal engines, we can't go faster than them, but we can just match their speed until they run out of fuel. Fuel has never been mentioned in Star Wars at this point either, so it's kind of ropey the laws of that anyway. I think actually maybe in the ODU books, but
yeah, no, fuel was mentioned in episode 1. The hyperdrive is leaking.
Yes,
but wasn't that
that's the only reference?
Yeah, but is that fuel? I saw that basically it was like steering fluid.
I thought it was leaking R2 units.
They just spontaneously come into existence.
Yeah, you saw the
thing is, though, is that the First Order ships still had hyperspace. So when they were non-hyperspace, they couldn't overtake or catch up to the ships in front. They can only just maintain the speed. Why didn't they hyperspace in front of the Resistance ships, and then the Resistance ships would just go into the back of them, and it would be the end of the film?
I've got an answer for that because there is things called hyperlanes. No, in Star Wars canon, there's things
there is. But we've also had 2 Disney films where they've just gone F you to hyperlanes, Solo and also Rise of Skywalker.
But we have Rogue One, who really uses hyperlanes but doesn't explain it, because we have Darth Vader's Star Destroyer coming in at the exact point that the Rebel fleet's trying to escape from, and that's why you have the collisions.
Yeah, which also makes you wonder when they say, hey, somehow the First Order are tracking us through hyperspace, when, as far as we are aware, the Empire have been able to do that since the very first film. Because remember they said they're tracking us. That's the only logical explanation of how we escaped.
Nope.
Yeah, no, but the Vulcan never entered hyperspace.
It did. To go from the Death Star. To go from the Death Star to Yavin 4, of course it did. Have you seen where Yavin 4 is compared to Alderaan?
I don't disagree.
Stop using maps.
I don't disagree. On a map, I do not disagree.
Also, in that regard, how did Darth Vader's Star Destroyer follow Princess Leia's blockade runner from the end of Rogue One into the start of A New Hope if they couldn't track them through hyperspace?
Right.
Rian Johnson, genius. Stop insulting the man.
It's almost like, we've watched a Star Wars film before and he hasn't. I told you, after I'd seen the film, I went and spoke to someone who isn't a Star Wars fan. They kind of guess where Scott is, where they're just kind of a casual fan. And he turned to me and he goes, I was watching the film and I was like, this feels like someone is trolling Star Wars fans. It feels like the filmmaker was like, how can I make a Star Wars film that trolls Star Wars fans,
Easy. Like that.
I love how Rise of Skywalker tries to put, I guess what you call a Band-Aid in the States on the whole plot hole of the Holdall maneuver, where she hyperspace jumps, lightspeed jumps through the Dreadnought to destroy it. And everyone's like, why didn't they do that with the Death Star? And then, what happens in Rise of Skywalker is someone says, "Oh, we need to do some hold-on maneuvers," and they go, oh, "Come on, that was 1 in a million shot. It wouldn't normally work." Did she know that when she did it? That there's only a 1 in a million chance that my self-sacrifice is going to work?
And also, that was a line not written in the script. It was like ADR later because you just
Was
hear
it
the-
really?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was
brilliant.
I'm pretty sure it was an ADR line, or it was on the day of filming. Like
Oh, it's like somehow Palpatine returned. Dark magic cloning secrets only Sith knew.
You're-
not the Kaminoans who created a clone army.
Or the fact that they announced Palpatine's return in Fortnite as well.
I mean, that's where the kids are.
Oh man. But yeah. Going back to Ghostbusters.
I was going to say, we kind of took a bit
what
of a win.
experience.
We always
So-
land.
My point was, I felt like Ghostbusters Afterlife, even if they don't do any more films now, Phoebe's character in that is a kind of character that I think we all wished Ray could have been. And I think that she's been received the way that Disney wishes that Ray had been received as well by fans. Because
Yeah.
on all the groups I'm on, pretty much everyone loves Phoebe.
How can you not?
She's fantastic, that's why.
Exactly. She
Well
makes
written,
great
well
dialogue.
acted, fully developed character.
With direction from
Mhm.
a competent director.
Yep.
She was a
Oh.
great character.
I saw Jacob ask me if I saw Boone Build's latest video or live stream. I have not.
Oh,
What am I
he,
missing out on, Jacob?
He linked it in my blatant self-promotion thread
Oh.
on my Discord. I
Well,
was a
he
bit
should-
confused of why he was sharing someone else's live stream video, but it's because he gets mentioned in it.
Oh, very nice. Oh, is that your Batmobile? Because Boone loves Batmobiles. He makes a ton of custom Batmobiles and he's really into Batmobiles.
He
So-
also says, "You're right. Ryan Johnson is a genius of making a bad Star Wars movie." Oh, you were right the first time. That is how you spell it. You spell it Rian because he can't spell his own name properly.
Well, he's a pretentious filmmaker. He has to be different.
Is that actually a well-known spelling in the States? Just using an I rather
No,
than a Y?
that is the first time. No, that's the second time I've seen it. Because
Okay.
oh no, I'm thinking of Rainn Wilson, not Ryan Wilson. Yeah, that is the first time I've seen it.
I was going to say I've never seen it before. I mean, I'm not, going to have a go at the guy for that, but it did. Do you
Didn't
know the
help
worst
that.
thing is I haven't always hated Ryan Johnson. I actually, at the time it came out, really enjoyed his film Brick.
And apparently Looper was good too.
No, Looper was terrible.
Oh, never mind then.
Because I saw
Great
Brick
film.
and I really loved it when I came out, and I was I was a young student and doing filmmaking in university. But when you revisit it, it is a film that is mostly style over substance. There's good performances in it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is fantastic in it, but really there is no plot. It's just the novelty of doing that old-fashioned film noir detective story across the backdrop of a American high school. And once you get past that, there's nothing else to it.
So, you know how Star Wars 77 got a subtitle when Empire came out and
Mhm.
became A New Hope?
Mhm.
Well, Episode 7 actually has a new subtitle now. It's called
yeah.
I'm sorry, Episode 8. It's called The Last Ryan Johnson Film.
He's done one since, hasn't he? He's done Knives Out.
Yeah, apparently that was people like that.
I have heard good stuff about. I've heard people say that is a good film. Although I also have heard that it is a complete and utter, depending on which way you fall, either a rip-off of Agatha Christie or a love letter to Agatha Christie.
Ooh.
Okay.
So,
I mean, love letter is what Hollywood uses when they're ripping something off. So
Yeah.
it's so
Not
not wrong.
exactly.
it's either that or homage.
You're not wrong, are you? Let's be honest.
It's a love letter to Star Wars. It's about family.
It's about family.
What is this, Fast and Furious?
I'm speaking Fast and Furious.
No, that was just like the biggest pull quote from The Last Jedi press tour is Carrie Fisher saying it's about family, and so it just became a meme to say Star Wars, it's about family.
You just needed a picture of Vin Diesel going, no, it's not. Where's your family barbecues?
I haven't seen the last couple of Fast and Furious movies, and I just don't know if I can be bothered now.
I mean, if you've seen one,
you've seen them all.
Well, no, this is
haven't
the thing.
seen
I
any.
hated the first couple of Fast and Furious movies, and they just weren't.
I think the only one I've seen, I want to say 7.
Okay.
Is that the one where they they spend 20 minutes driving full speed down a runway, so the runway's 20 miles long?
Oh, I think that's 6.
Okay,
I think it's a 6 or 7. It could be.
And I was doing calculations in my head, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can see, because of the curvature of the Earth, you wouldn't be able to see one end of the runway to the other because of how long they filmed it.
Well, in a long
you are
runway
correct there.
is 10,000 to
That's the one where Gal Gadot dies, which always bugged
Yeah.
me because she's like the one character who dies who hasn't come back, and I think it's only because she's too expensive now.
But no, I definitely think that was 6.
I think it was 6.
Yeah.
So Scott,
Because I think at the end, because of that one, well, I think isn't it that one that Han then leaves because he was in love with Gal Gadot's character, and then at the post-credit scene you have then the flashback to Fast and Furious 3, don't you?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I got on board with them with Fast 5 when they changed genre from being about street racing to being about OTT heist movies. Well, they were heist movies, but really, weren't they? And I also love The Rock. And The Rock's not in them anymore, so that kind of automatically puts me off a little bit.
No, the one scene that I keep seeing and I really hope what I read about it is true, was that it was improvised. Is that scene when they have the barbecue around the back of one of the houses, and The Rock walks up the driveway, and someone says to, "Oh, you better hide." I think someone says, "Oh, you better hide," and The Rock just turns, "Better hide your big ass forehead." I can't remember what the scene is, but apparently that was totally improvised.
I know that him and Vin Diesel have a massive falling out, and then
Yeah.
The Rock has come out and said that because Vin Diesel put on Twitter or Instagram or something that he hopes The Rock will come back for the final Fast and Furious film because he's part of the family and all that, and The Rock has come out and said that is just basically public manipulation because behind closed doors he's made it clear he doesn't want The Rock back and The Rock doesn't want to come back. He's making out in public that from his side the hatchet's been buried and there's no hard feelings when that's not the case.
Yes, yeah.
I enjoyed Hobbs and Shaw with when it was the team up of The Rock and Jason Statham and then versus Idris Elba, the spin-off. That was a lot of fun, but it was also when you have the bad guy has cybernetic implants and calls himself the Black Superman, you realize just how far the franchise has just gone from the very first one, which was supposed to be a gritty film about street racing.
It has transcended.
Have you seen Red Notice?
No, that's supposed to be good.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Normally, if The Rock is in something, I'll watch it. He's what I call a 33%er, which means that no matter what he's in, he'll make it 33% better than what it already is.
Does that mean you watched Moana?
Of course I've watched Moana. That's actually a freaking good film.
Yeah, it is.
It is a good film.
I watched Moana on the plane back from Orlando, and I was crying with laughter. And the person next to me kept on looking over, and then they started watching, and they were laughing then, but they were freaking 20 minutes behind me, so it was weird. Hey!
I think I see what's happening here. What can I say except you're welcome.
From the island, from the sea.
This is a perfect example of when Hollywood hires someone who can't sing, but they're energetic and happy about it, you can get by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
opposed to hiring Russell
What do
Crowe
you
for Les
mean your
Mis.
boss can't sing? You shut your whole mouth.
Oh no, he can. But
I mean,
you compare him to Russell Crowe and Les Mis, it's like, oh my goodness, is he?
or Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that was bad.
That's more talking. I think he talked in his
So there you
singing.
go. Moana's a good example of doing a strong female character right as well. It's funny, like how
The new one, Enchanta or
Encanto.
Encanto.
that's
Encanto
really
apparently
good
is
too.
good.
I liked it a lot.
I've only seen about 40 minutes of it because the missus put it on when I was really ill and I basically fell asleep. But the 40 minutes I saw of it was really good.
I've only watched the Bruno song on YouTube.
Yeah, the problem with that though is even having seen those 40 minutes, I still think of "Hi, I'm Bruno." Whenever Sacha Baron Cohen, when they say we don't talk about Bruno, no.
No.
Lady
Yeah,
Sam
you see the
I
Lego
think you
sets for Encanto? They look really good.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
They have the main family's house or whatever. It's really colorful.
Was it the mock or the actual set?
The actual set.
Oh, because I've seen a mock of it. That looks really good.
So
Yeah, what's funny is when I saw Moana, I was on the plane coming back from Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, and I realized that Moana's father is voiced by Tamara Morrison, who I just met at Star Wars Celebration. He signed a picture of me as Jango Fett. It was before he was cast as Boba Fett in live action.
Oh,
So yeah, I was like, hey, I know this voice. I just spoke to him today.
that's lucky.
It's funny though, because he was sat next to is it Daniel Logan who played Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones and also voiced him in the Clone Wars cartoon. And at this point, this was 2017 now, I think it was. And obviously he's a man now, a young man. But he actually looked like a young Tamara Morrison, like pre We Were Warriors. But you could see the resemblance. Like they picked a good person to play that.
Do you think he should have played Boba Fett in this series?
Part of me says yes, but I also think he's probably still too young.
Yeah.
But I mean,
is Tamara too old?
I don't think he's too old. I mean, he looked older in Mandalorian season 2, but obviously we got the explanation that was kind of like the acid wash from inside the Sarlacc bit, you know. I don't really have a problem with how Boba Fett looks. I have more of an issue of how he's been characterized, but I won't go into too much detail because of Scott.
Okay.
If it wasn't Scott, if it was like Space Time City, he hadn't seen it, I'd go, oh well, I'll just tell you the spoilers. But I respect Scott.
Thank you.
That seems about right.
And I've seen all of them, I think, except the latest one. So it's not.
Okay, because it's basically a different show.
I was going to say, I didn't think that was the Book of Boba Fett.
So you've seen all the Book of Boba Fett then?
I take it something.
I really want to get into it, but I won't because I won't spoil it for Scott. But yeah, I'm hoping they're going to pull it out of the bag with the next 2 episodes. It's not to say I've not enjoyed the series, but it's not been what I hoped it would be.
How many episodes is in this?
7.
Yeah, 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
I am very sad to see the Expanse end.
Yeah, that's a show I need to watch. I've only ever watched the pilot.
It's been cancelled, hasn't it?
Not canceled. They purposely shut it down, but now the rumor is that they're going to do movies.
Oh, okay.
To finish the story.
Oh.
That's always thing I always take with a pinch of salt. Whenever they say they're going to finish off a TV series with a movie, because so many times they say that and it never comes to fruition. You know.
Look at Stargate, for example. Stargate was meant to be finished off with a load of TV movies, not just the 3.
We were meant to have
3.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, that only happened because they couldn't get the budget to do another series anyway. So
yeah, but I
think originally they said there was going to be 8 TV movies they were going to try and do.
Yes, It was, yeah, because they were
And
going
if
to
it
do
was
an
popular
Atlantis
enough,
one
they
as
were going
well.
to try and negotiate a theatrical release. It was like,
They were going to do a big one on Atlantis that I remember as well. There was going to be the Arc of Truth and Continuum. The Arc of Truth, obviously wrapping up the Four Eyes storyline, which kind of needed to be wrapped up after.
do you think it was so contrived though that obviously they brought that new Colonel in for the last 2 seasons, which no one really took a shine to. He was just transported from the multiverse of Farscape,
Yeah.
and because they'd already made like the other characters so significant to the Stargate mythos, they had to have it that he was basically the shipboat captain back in time, who helped transport the Stargate over from Cairo.
It was destiny. It was fate.
Just so crap that was.
Yeah.
Oh, Jacob has a nice comment about Idris Elba.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
true.
Yeah.
That is true. Idris Elba is another actor, though, that honestly I can pretty much watch in anything.
Well, isn't he a prime leader for the next Bond?
This is the thing, though. If you were ever gonna make the jump and have a black James Bond, it would be Idris Elba.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like at this point now, he's too old. Not because I don't think he could do it, but just in terms of the lifespan of being a Bond actor. The thing with Bond is that traditionally he's at that age group where men tend to age rapidly, where it's like late 30s to like mid 40s. And I think Idris Elba is only about 3 years younger than Daniel Craig. So
yeah, I was going to ask, who's the longest serving Bond, age wise?
But in terms of time,
Connery.
No, do you mean in terms of how long in years or in terms of films?
Not in the terms of films, but from their youngest to their oldest performance.
That would be that would be Daniel Craig now.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Daniel Craig because he's
Daniel
been...
Craig, yeah, because it was 2006.
Yeah.
In terms of the number of films, it's Roger Moore followed by Sean Connery.
Man, that's quite the span.
I honestly feel like Daniel Craig should have stopped with Spectre. Although that I think the reason he came back is because Spectre wasn't particularly well received. But I feel like that was originally written as his last Bond film. The other thing with Daniel Craig is that his Bond films have been spaced out further than any other Bond actor. Traditionally,
yes, they have.
when it was Sean Connery for his first, I think, 4 Bond films, he was doing 1 a year.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then it went to 1 every 2 years. And then I think with Pierce Brosnan, we had a 3-year gap between The Will Is Not Enough and Die Another Day.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was over after that. The World's Not Enough.
And then Daniel Craig, then we had 2 years between Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. Then we had the first big break because of all the stuff that happened behind the scenes with MGM, almost going into basically going bust.
I think it was because PETA got upset with them poking that line at the beginning of all their movies.
PETA
like,
who?
you just do this once instead of doing it for every single movie.
And then, how long was there between Skyfall and Spectre? There was quite a gap between Skyfall and Spectre as well.
Skyfall was 2012, wasn't it?
That sounds about right.
No.
Yeah, Skyfall was 2012.
And then Spectre, I would say, is 16.
Let's have a look. I think you're right. Spectre was 2015, so there was only 3 years between Skyfall and Spectre, and then there was 6 years between Spectre and No Time to Die, which I think is the longest time between films with the same Bond actor.
Okay, I was going to say with the same, because I was going to say that would be the transition from Dalton to Brosnan.
Well, actually, that's matching it, because License to Kill was 89 and GoldenEye was 95, so that's 6 years as well, isn't it?
Okay.
So, yeah. That's crazy.
I think I'm gonna say my least favorite thing to build in Lego is trees.
My least favorite thing to build in Lego is the Sonic platform.
Oh, that I said that has to be like my least favorite Lego set I've built in recent memory, or
Like,
in memory.
I've been working on these trees since the beginning of the stream, and I'm like, I'm done.
How have you not finished those? They were really quick to do.
Yeah,
I just don't like trees.
Oh, Americans.
It's the lumberjack in me. I just want to cut them all down.
I'm a lumberjack, and that's okay.
I was just gonna do that.
Can always plant more.
Wow. That sounds like a true American that is.
well, we know where space-time stands on the environment.
You think about the company Amazon, right? And originally Amazon used to sell secondhand books. And the reason they called it Amazon is because they had more paper than like the trees in the Amazon supposed to be, like, you know?
And now you could go to space with him.
Well, you can touch the edge of space with it.
Well,
Yeah.
Let's not give him too much credit. I'm pretty sure.
no more than we can do.
I'm pretty sure Shepard went higher than Bezos.
True.
Okay, there is 4 years, not 3 years. There's 4 years between Daniel Craig and Idris Elba. I feel like that's not a big enough gap. I feel like if you're going to replace, someone in the Bond role, you're going to go about 10 years younger, at least. Especially considering Daniel Craig is in his 50s now. I reckon they're going to cast someone in their mid-30s, mid to late 30s, I reckon.
And are we sticking just with UK actors?
Well, it's going to be a British actor.
Yeah, I think ever since George
Australia?
Lazenby, they've said that they don't want to cast any non-British actors.
Now it could be a woman. That would be a very
What
interesting.
about Canadian?
I mean, is Canadian British?
That's what they should do. They should do the first African British lesbian James Bond. That would cater to everyone.
I mean, we have
I would say that would actually, the demographic would match. Actually,
we have a black female 007, a new film. I've not seen a new film yet, but I know the new 007 that's replaced James Bond is black and female. But she's not James Bond. She's not Bond, but she's a new 007 now.
Oh, okay.
Also, I don't get. They were trying to stir it. I feel like the media was trying to stir up controversy because they were like, "Oh, fans are going to revolt when they realize the new 007 is not only female, but she's also black." It's like, why? Why would we care? Because, I mean, just stupid. But there you go.
But yeah, there's a whole long list of actors who are on the list, if you will, for
Still think
Bond.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Do you know he actually did audition for it at the same time as Daniel Craig and got told he was too young? So how old is
Maybe
Henry
now's the
Cavill now?
time.
Anyway, he's still fairly. Was he? He's 38. So yeah, I would say that's like prime now because I always think of Bond as sort of late 30s to mid 40s. You know.
Yeah.
And have you seen Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
No, I've just seen The Woman from Ant.
I saw
In that, it's almost like that's his audition tape for James Bond.
I saw the original series. I haven't seen the.
Oh
newest
yeah,
one.
I used to watch the reruns of the original series.
You're so young. Or I'm so old. Or both.
Or everyone's just the proper age.
We're the age we are.
There we go.
Why do you have sunglasses on top of your head?
Oh no, they're my.
Oh, okay.
They're a little bit polarized, or it was just on my dark hair.
Jacob, guys, what age do you think Batman should be? I mean, that depends entirely. We've seen Batman in the comics and other media at different stages at his life, so I feel like that's more open.
Batman should not be younger than 68.
So did you say 68 or 6 to 8?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off my original comment of 68 because I want a Batman Beyond movie.
Beyond what reason?
Beyond retirement.
I guess it also depends on which Batman do you mean. Do you mean Bruce Wayne as Batman, or do you mean someone else who's taken on the cowl?
Joker Batman.
Dick Grayson as Batman? Terry
That's the
McGinnis?
reason why. Because
There we go. Michael Keaton.
I am excited to see him return as Batman, but at the same time, I'm kind of annoyed we're never going to get Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Flashpoint Batman now. Because they're using the 89 Batman as the Flashpoint Batman in the movies.
Yeah, I don't know what the other Batman you just said is.
Heck, I know you were speaking English, but I didn't understand what you were saying.
There we go. Scott and I are on the same page.
Sam, can we kick at least one of these guys out? My preference would be Space Time. You know? I don't want to kick Scott out because he's only going to have so many streams left, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Oh no!
I have a few less than you, that's for sure.
I love you, Scott. Really.
oh no.
So Scott, what's the registration fees for Bricks Cascade? Do you know?
Not very high. I can't remember. $30-$40.
Oh wow! Like cheaper than Brick Slopes then.
Well,
Brick
no.
Slopes was like 100.
Brick Slopes is 100.
That's what
I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't matter to me as much. I know, but
Oh, that's the point, Craggle. Are we going to do that one that you sent me?
What did I send you? What?
That one in Manchester. Or are you still boycotting them?
but then you'd have to have a bag over your head if you're going to keep your appearance secret.
See, that's not an issue for him because nobody knows who he is. I know his real name,
What
so
are
I can
you
actually.
talking about?
I noticed the
missed
address I
something.
got didn't even have his name.
I've missed something here.
No, you sent me one the other day. I can't remember what it's called.
The Brick Convention thing. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Because the more I read up on it, the more it does seem like how I feared it was before, where it's just going to be more aimed at like families bringing their kids to play like in big ball pits filled with bricks.
Okay.
It says it's
Yeah.
going to have some people showing mocks off and stuff, but I feel like it's going to be less about like AFOLs and TFOLs and more just about like, oh, hey, isn't it cool that they made Big Ben out of Lego or something, Like,
So you're
Like,
saying there's less creative people in the UK that make Lego?
No, I feel like the convention is aimed at a different audience. It's going to be aimed at people who aren't really into Lego and in-depth casual fans who just want a family day out,
Okay.
Well, but most conventions are that on the public days, and you're interacting with the public, but the talking and the comparisons and the discussions and all that stuff happens during setup and during the day. So that's what makes them fun, is everything else that happens.
Well, they said they've got, is it 100? Is it 100 they said they've got people?
Yeah, 100 exhibitors.
100
Oh.
but they've only got 7 vendors, only 7 people selling stuff, which to me felt very weird.
Right, like Brick Fair was an off year, and they had 900 some builders. Off year, they normally get 1,200. Brick World will get probably 1,000 to 1,100 in Chicago, and then, but even my Mock Fest, we got 50, and that's a tiny show. So
The thing is that Lego builds like mock builds and like adult fans have been kind of infiltrating Comic Cons. Well, they were anyway in recent years before COVID. I mean, I think I did a couple of vlogs when I showed some of the stuff on there, where they had like a dedicated section in London film on Comic Con for 2 years in the trot, and also in Collectomania Birmingham. That I kind of look at this one, which is supposed to be a dedicated Lego one, and I just feel like it almost looks like it has less than a non-Lego specific Comic Con or convention. You know, I don't know. I partly want to go to give it a try, but also I do remember that back, I think it was in 2018 or something. I think it was around that. I did email them about asking if they did anything like a press pass or like a discount ticket for someone to do it as a YouTuber, and they pretty much told me to go swivel. So
Yeah, I would probably do that too, but
so yeah. By the way, we're kicking Space Time, right? I got a vote from Jacob as well.
Oh,
Yeah, we no longer require the services of the forehead of security.
all right. I mean, I just look at it from their point of view, just because how many people they get asking for, they want free stuff, and it's like, what are they actually going to get out of the event? You know.
Well, in all fairness, I've asked before at other conventions, and I've had press passes at loads of conventions before as a cosplay photographer.
Oh, okay.
So,
I guess it also depends on the size. Can they really afford to give away, stuff to people they don't know?
I'll vouch for Cradle.
It's a.
I just assume that Space Time just dislikes me.
No.
Any opinion I have, he has to take like the opposite stance for no reason whatsoever. Like he doesn't know these people from Adam. He doesn't even know what convention we're talking about. But he's defending them and going against what I say.
I was just going off the fact that you were saying how small it was. That's the only thing.
Hey, both of you are invited to Mockfest free of charge.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers, Scott. I'll bring this.
Space Time be going? Because if Space Time's going, I'm not going.
Space Time's my lieutenant, so
is he?
Yeah, he helped on move in, and yeah, he was of great help.
I'll come, Scott, if you bring the big boy.
Oh yeah, it'll be there.
Oh yeah.
Not the one you helped build. That one's with Dave.
It's all right. It's all right. I can settle for. Well, then I can claim that I've built both of them. So
yeah, and I'm going to upgrade it to version 6.
Look at Sam's face.
Hang on a sec. What version were we on when we built the one in Seattle?
Version 5.
Okay. I thought it was lower than that because
no.
Whenever I
this is actually version 3. Okay?
Well.
I designed it twice and had to do it the third time before we built it. Then I did it another time to figure out how many bricks. But then, of course, I redesigned it almost on the fly while we were on site. And then I did a version 6, but the base is probably on 8 or 9 by now. It's the base has advanced quite a bit.
Yeah, that was, from what I remember, that was the delicate part of the operation.
And the biggest change, well, one of the big changes is the brick count goes from about 132 to 135,000 to 140,000 brick. So.
So just a few small changes.
Just a few.
Yeah.
The better.
Is it still on display downtown?
Not right now. She needed to. I took it out like January 3 because she was reworking the store, and I'm going to rebuild it.
Okay.
Is that repop?
Yep.
I was going to ask how did the Launchpad work from when I fixed it?
It got hit even worse after you fixed it. I need to find somebody that can do plexiglass and glue it because I need absolutely 90 degrees because I want to make it almost like a glove to fit the outside and make it, but glue them so that they're almost clear. So I need somebody that really knows what they're doing to do that.
Yeah, that's not me,
I
unfortunately.
mean, if you want someone who doesn't know what they're doing and can't give you absolute 90 degrees and will probably fit like a stretched sack of potatoes, I'm your man.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind, sir.
Jacob's got a comment there, Sam, if you want to.
Once I turn 18, that is a newly found a day for, I could go to my first LEGO convention, hopefully display my Batmobile collection, hopefully having every major live action version. That's an impressive goal.
That's a point. Has Jacob done the Batman Forever Batmobile on Lego? Because I feel like that's an underrated Batmobile. Is it as cool as the 89? By no means, but I feel like it's a diamond in the rough. It's underrated.
There you go, Jacob. Have you done Batman Forever?
I've got a soft spot for Batman Forever anyway. So,
Have you seen the concept art by H.R. Geiger for Batmobile and Batman Forever?
That's disgusting. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, I mean it's unique.
Is it though? Because I feel like H.R. Geiger. I did his I studied his work when I studied art, and I was a fan of it as a teenager. But the more you go into it, the more he is a one-trick pony. You can say that of a lot of established artists that they found one thing, just kept on doing it.
Their style. Yeah, because that Batmobile definitely looked like it had like spherical wheels and looked very croissant.
It looked like someone had basically put a xenomorph into a car shape.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very alien.
Yeah.
There you go, Craggle.
Cool.
What he really wants to do, and yes, he's seen the concept, which reminds me of the Nightcrawler.
I feel it's more organic than that, but I can kind of see with the front what you're on about there. The Nightcrawler was always one I just don't get. Like, the sequence is so much better in the Zack Snyder cut, but I still don't get what vehicle that was trying to be. Is it a tank? Is it like a spider? Like, what is it? I like the Flying Fox as a troop carrier, and also when I found out that the Flying Fox is a type of bat as well. So,
didn't you also really love that Lego set?
I did, yeah. It was a good Lego set, and then someone made me buy a bad Lego set to complete the wave.
I don't know what you mean.
Rather than just buying the Flash minifigure, someone was like, "No, you have to buy the set now, and you have to do a video on it."
I don't know who that guy might be. He's certainly not sitting with us right now, I'll tell you that.
That's what I mean. When you say I pressurized you into doing stuff, you've pressured me into doing stuff as well.
This is very true.
The peer pressure's gone both ways, I feel, in our relationship.
Yeah. It works well.
We take in turns.
Definitely.
Since you've built this before, does the barb sticker go on one of the trees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will put that there because
I know a lot of people were peed off that when they did the actual minifigure of her, it didn't look more like the sticker wanted poster or missing poster.
Gotcha. Because I'm building both trees at the same time, and I see this one brick already has a sticker on it. And I'm like, I'm guessing they're saying not to put the sticker on until after the trees are built.
Mm-hmm. It's been a couple of years since I built it, but yeah, I can't remember at one point, but she's definitely on the side of the tree.
And I am missing a 1x2 rounded profile brick.
You're not. You'll find it. It's there.
Well,
this is a pre-owned set, so he might be missing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have to look at my parts collection.
Space time is too cheap to splash out on a new set. I'm joking. You got a fairly good deal on this, in all fairness, when you were
I
talking.
did, since it's retired.
Yeah.
And he sorted everything back in the bag order.
That I was very impressed with. That's
That
dedication.
is dedication.
Yeah.
I just saw he listed the UCSA wing on Facebook Marketplace, and he's going to charge $15 to disassemble and put in bag order if you want.
Oh, I can see why then. I hate it when, like, I remember when I was looking at buying one Black Pearl and the person was like, I'll send it like fully built for you so you don't have to worry about building it. I was like, what? No,
That's all.
that's not how this works. I think one of the sets I got did come, it was in bags, but there was some parts where you could tell they just couldn't be bothered dismantling it and just shoved it in a bag in the box. But
I don't know who might have done that.
no, not you. I mean, one of the Pirates of the Caribbean sets I got. But when I with all the sets anyway, anything I get that's not sealed, I clean first and then sort. And when I say I clean and I sort, I mean Mrs. Crackle does it for me.
Yeah, I don't have
I
any.
believe that.
Jacob says, "Do you know why Batman Forever Batman was the hardest one to make? I'm guessing because of the big round fin." Which in some shots, and it's even more obvious when you watch it in 4K, it unfortunately wobbles a little bit when it goes around a corner, but it still looks cool. Obviously this is before Batman v Superman, but I remember going to a convention in 2014 and they had every live action Batmobile there on display from the 66, the 89, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and the Tumbler, and I may have had a little geek wee.
The Batman and Robin one's the atrocious looking one with all the lights. Is that okay?
Yeah,
that was confusing.
It's not a great looking one. It definitely was the worst one, but it was cool just to see them all there together. My favorite, when I was there, was the 66 and the 89 Batmobile. I've seen about three different tumblers now. One person had done a full-scale replica of Tumbler. That's dedication enough, but they did it in steampunk. Which was it was very cool, but at the same time, you're kind of thinking, if you're going to spend all this money and make an actual working full-scale Tumbler replica, wouldn't you do it so that it actually looked like the one in the film? Oh,
yeah,
okay. Something to do with the wheel hubs don't turn, apparently. Okay. Are you alright, Sam? You look very confused.
I'm just looking at the Batmobile. I might have an idea.
You've got enough stuff to work on.
I know. You know me. I look at things. I have ideas. It hurts my brain. I do stuff.
Scott, do you have any of these bricks? 1x2.
Back it up. Oh yeah, I got a lot of them.
In black.
Yeah, the Batman and Robin Batmobile does.
A light bluish grey.
Yes.
All right. When can you be over here?
Next week.
Ugh.
What do you want me to set some aside for you, or what's?
I literally just need one.
Holy crap! I didn't even realize it jumped up that much.
What?
Do you know how I hit 20,000 subscribers? And I'm gonna do like an announcement video, like saying thank you, as it is a kind of milestone. But I was waiting until I'd finished the Ghostbusters stuff.
You're on 20.3 now.
Yeah. When did that happen? Holy crap!
I noticed that just literally before we started the stream.
Wow.
You should start the video off like, I realize some of you have made a mistake.
Well, the thing is, I never like say it anything straight away, because when I hit 20,000, I dip back down couple of days, like over the course of like the weekend it happened, it went down and up as people like. Well, I get it could be people unsubscribing. Or I guess it could be YouTube doing that thing where it removes inactive accounts. So I wanted to wait until it got like significantly over 20,000, so that I could, say, "Oh, this is cool." And then I was like, "Well, I'm gonna wait until I've finished the Ghostbusters Afterlife series." But that's really cool.
Well, yeah, you're like now well on your way to 21K. So
Wow.
it's crazy, man.
You're already throwing more expectations at me. I'm only one man, Sam.
I mean, it's 20K more than me.
No, it's not. You're just shy of a K, aren't you?
I'm at like 800, and you're approaching 21.
It's 20.3K
If you make it feel like that,
more than me.
I think I've lost about 60 subscribers on Krago's Den, but that's because I did 2 videos within like a week and said regular content is resuming, and then didn't upload then for another 2 months.
Outstanding.
I mean, I don't think I've ever unsubscribed for someone for not posting and then posting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think YouTube does it as well, because I noticed, thinking of which, Click and Cliff, who was here earlier on, I don't know if he's still watching, but he was earlier on. I went onto his channel and realized that I'd been unsubscribed.
Oh.
Yeah. And
That's
the thing
weird.
is, you can't even say it's if YouTube's obviously unsubscribed me, but you can't even say that they've done it because I haven't been watching his streams, because I have been watching his streams. But also, what is the threshold for being inactive? Because I only subscribed to him like a few months ago back. When I first started talking to him, which would be like, what, 2-3 months at most? I was thinking when they were removing inactive accounts, it's like if you've been subscribed for a year and haven't bothered watching a video in a year, they would remove the subscription from you.
And that's not true either, because it's like I'm still subscribed to people who I haven't watched stuff for 10 years for.
But that's weird, isn't it? Because Sam, didn't you get unsubscribed as well from something as well? I know Lady Sam went on a friggin' thing when she kept unsubscribing all the time. But
Yeah. No, I've
had a few people tell me that they've gone onto my channel because they've like, wait a sec, I haven't seen a Craggle video in a while, and then they've realized they've been unsubscribed.
I don't think I've ever been unsubscribed from you, apart from when you told me to because you wanted to make the funny thing happen on your stream. But
yeah, that's why I do it. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been unsubscribed from you, but I have been unsubscribed from people that I do actually follow, and they go, hang on a sec. But then again, at the same time, I do actually wonder if I've ever clicked subscribe on those people, because
it's just always recommended it to you, and you just click on it on the home screen.
It's always been recommended in my feed or whatever, and I've just always clicked on it and always assumed I've been subscribed.
Right.
And
I mean, I guess that's a possibility in some cases, but I've definitely, obviously, like from the analytics point of view, seen subscriptions being removed.
Yeah.
And people have also messaged me or commented and said, like, what the heck? I've been subscribed for a year and I haven't seen a video for the last couple of months, and I'd find out YouTube's unsubscribed me, So
crazy.
It's a fickle thing, the old YouTube algorithm. Oh, Jacob reckons he's found a way to fix his problem now. Well, there you go then. If you've solved it, we expect to see a Batman Forever Batmobile from you within the next 60 minutes.
Get cracking.
Do you know what?
Speaking of which, actually, when are you and Spacetime going to do your next mock challenge thing?
I really did enjoy that.
Next week?
I need to make a video first to show people how to set up OBS so they can show their webcam and
so next week
studio. But I mean, I also want to do. I'm trying to figure out how to invite people on, invite contestants, because it's like I don't want to be doing it because I want to give away something,
So next week.
Do you know what I think we should do? You should do Spacetime. Now he's such a proficient designer because he's done a wave of 4 custom sets.
Oh shit!
All on his own. He's got the skills. You should invite Cut the Craggle to partake.
Did you see how long it took me to do those sets?
Doesn't matter.
And I kept
mean,
asking you, like, does this look okay, or is this part all right, or like, you know.
I definitely want to invite like 3 or 4 contestants.
Oh, I'm a terrible mock builder.
Do it if you do it on a Friday. Joe has told me before he's off on Fridays. So
Oh yeah, do it on
you-
Friday because I'm busy Fridays.
Oh, okay.
Right, he's 4 10-hour days.
Yeah, exactly. So Joe is always available on a Friday, and he'd be up for it.
The problem I find though is that like you build so big.
That's what she said.
That has to get said once an episode, right?
Because I mean that's even what like Spacetime was building the whole frigging grid, and then he was like, "Oh, actually, okay, I need to actually get something done in this time," you know.
Well, that's it. That's part of the challenge.
And I think
Space said before he wants to bring in restrictions to it so that it
And
does
I
make
think-
it interesting.
and I think it would be fun to invite some people who were previously on Lego Masters as well.
Oh God,
Oh,
I am not going up
Ooh.
against people who are on Lego Masters.
yeah,
So who do
because
you think you could get?
See, that's the thing. I don't know anyone,
Oh, I do.
so I would have to.
I mean, I know someone who auditioned for Lego Masters.
yes, so do I.
You know two. then.
That's true. I know too.
Yeah. I know someone who has watched the UK Lego Masters.
I've watched the
Tell a lie.
Australian
I
one.
actually know. No, I tell a lie. I actually do know someone who was on Lego Masters UK. I'm kind of like YouTube / Instagram buddies with them.
Whoa.
So they might be up for it. I could always ask them. I think were they on
Yeah.
series 2 or series 1? Series 2, I believe. It's crap that Lego Masters UK got cancelled. It was definitely the best one.
Yeah.
I say that like I know what you go, oh, because you're British, but it was the one that was actually more about Lego. If I was ranking like the 3 that I've seen, it would go UK, Australia, US, and US is pretty low down because
Right.
it's basically just American Idol by way of Lego.
Do you know what made me laugh? Is the guy who is considered the master builder on the Lego Masters Australia, Hamish. It's not Hamish. I can't remember what his name is. The brick guy or something like that. But
I know the one you're about. Yeah.
he also did a rather large scale Saturn V.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Not the scale.
Not
Yeah.
that was the thing, right? He did a Saturn V that's probably an equivalent height to Scott's,
Higher.
but and higher. But then when it did the rounds on like Brothers Brick and stuff like that. But I think it was last year. It popped up on an article on Bricks in Space, and he got absolutely rinsed because it was tall and skinny, not to scale, no detailing whatsoever.
Are we still talking about his Lego, or are we talking about something else?
It was his Lego.
You know, we do
Right.
have a minor on the stream. You know, I just noticed that. So
Do we?
yeah,
Watching.
watching the stream.
Well, we got a disclaimer up.
We've got
And
a
besides,
disclaimer up.
we're
it's
in the UK
description.
anyway, so in here, like, you know.
But he got absolutely rinsed for this build, and I looked at it and I went, "Hang on a sec, Craig. This guy is considered by Lego one of the pros. Yet he can't build anything to scale. He can't build that to scale, and it just looks like a." You know, like a
What you're trying to say is that basically Scott should have his job.
pretty much, yeah. Scott's better.
Yeah.
On Space Dub.
Well, one of the people on Lego Masters Australia, is the person behind Like My Bricks, I believe, as well. I've seen him now popping up on the Instagram stories and videos on there. So I don't know if they're the co-founder or something, but I recognized his face from Lego Masters Australia.
Okay.
I've had one. I've had one kit from like my bricks,
Yeah.
which was the Firehouse one. Great quality, but also very, very expensive. And there's a lot more competitors out there now. So I don't know if they're feeling the pinch now because other competitors offering similar products for less. But in answer to Jacob's question, though, I don't know. Is that going to be an issue? Jacob's 17, right? Is it a problem under YouTube? I mean, in the UK, he wouldn't be counted as a minor as such. He couldn't serve him alcohol, but he's not counted as a child.
I mean, the video would just get like demonetized.
Well, for having him in there.
Yeah, for having.
Well, I mean, if he shows his face, if we're just looking at what he's building on screen, I think that would be fine, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll check. But
Spaceman have to look into it because it will be on Spacetime's channel. So
yeah, because.
But I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point. It's just like there won't be ads on it. So. I mean,
that's the point. Actually, I'm not sure how old the person I know is. I think they're about similar age.
They were on Lego Masters?
Yep, because when the UK one, there was no age thing in there. They had kids competing alongside adults as well.
Yeah,
really talented kids on there as well.
I want to make it 18 plus just because the winner I would be sending an email. What? I want them to be 18 plus because the winner I'm going to be sending an email to.
Oh, okay. And with naked selfies. Congratulations, you've won an OnlyFans exclusive access pass to Spacetime's naked selfies
with the gift card.
Ooh.
So it's like, and I don't want to be sending,
You don't want it to be taken the wrong way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
And I need to.
Isn't that sad though, in this day and age, that you can't do a competition and have a 17-year-old enter because if you send them a Lego gift card as their prize, you could be perceived to be grooming. Like, come on, the world we live in.
You know what? You can always send it to the parent.
That is
true.
Very
true.
In all fairness, though, like when I did my competition, the giveaway for the Star Wars, not Star Wars, one of our Star Wars, Stranger Things mock. I didn't show anyone's faces on there. I just showed the mocks. And I think one of the people who won that was like 15, and their mum contacted me and was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Here's the address." And I think I said like, get your parent to email me your address.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, I need to think of the proper way to do it.
Yeah, you don't want to fall foul of any dodgy rules over there in America. That's the last thing you need.
Oh dear. It's just wow.
So Scott, I didn't tell you, but I found a really good job that might be good for me.
Really?
It's a company located here in Boise, and they make science and engineering videos for like websites that do tutorials and graphics and designs for like conferences and such. And they are looking for a director of engineering content to help make engineering videos.
That sounds fabulous.
So I feel like that's like both of my worlds, like, intersecting, and would be like
you know a recovering engineer that could be a subject matter expert if you which I've done a lot of.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's going to be more than electrical, so I would definitely need help with mechanical and such.
So like even this course that I'm teaching, the thing that really amazes me, I've met so many people, and one of them is called a curriculum designer. And I don't know how I would have ever worked without one in the past, because they understand the teaching learning interface, but
Yeah.
they don't know the topic, and so it takes a lot of collaboration. But I've worked with 2 or 3 of them now, and it's so much better. But then I think about graphical design, and that's one way that I've seen some stuff that this particular company I do training for has taken my sketches, and frankly, it would have been better if they just scanned my sketch and put it as a graphic. Then, because I know what good graphic designers can do, and they didn't have those.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it would be a nice next chapter of my story if that ends up working out.
Yeah.
Combining the 2 things that I, first one I failed at and then fell back on the other one, and then having them merge together.
I think failing is pretty strong.
I know. It gets frustrating after trying to do it for 6 years.
Right.
So.
Bad timing.
Hopefully it goes well, Mr. Spacetime.
Thanks.
Are we not using your name now? I guess do you not want your name out there?
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just on this channel, everyone in Lego Space just calls me Space Time, and then when I put Peter up, it just confuses.
Yeah,
So I'm confusing people right now. Is that the?
Are you on about the charity organization that tried to stop MGM poking lions? Yeah.
Exactly.
Lion poking.
You on about the company that came over and confiscated my bacon sandwich? Hey,
Man.
all I did was buy a pig and put 2 loaves of bread either side of him.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Dear, oh dear.
And it's something I've been also thinking about if I want to rename my channel. I was thinking about renaming it to Professor Space Time, just so it can just be I can put whatever I want on the channel. If I feel like building a model, like a model ship or something, I can share that. And because I'm looking at channels, because it's like if I just doing like a Lego centric thing, I don't think I'm ever gonna get anything out of it. I think Lego should just be like 25% of the channel. Because it's like I just want an online space to just put everything that I do. If you, I don't know if that makes sense to anyone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But then it's like you run the risk of like, oh, I just want to watch Lego, so I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that feedback on my channel, like being told that I only watch your YouTube list videos, or I only watch your YouTube haul videos, like just doing different types of Lego video. Like I feel like I do a few different ones or whatever I feel like I want to do and offer variety, and some people just literally want to watch the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
That's why I did Craggle's Den, so I could have that to put other stuff on there. And I've got a heap of footage filmed. I just haven't got around to editing it. And I won't lie, part of it is the fact that that channel hasn't really gained much of an audience. But then also I realized that the stuff that I've been sharing on there, like action figure and Funko Pop stuff, there's channels that are dedicated to those that have huge followings. So it's like, who are you going to watch? This channel that sometimes does an action figure, sometimes does a pop figure, sometimes does like animation cells, or are you going to watch a dedicated channel that has that specific thing that you like,
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And the other thing I got to ask myself is like, am I in this to make money, or am I in it just to share with what I like to do? So,
yeah,
I think that every day as I make kits.
Yeah. It is a balancing thing though. Like with me, like I've always said, this is a hobby, and anything I get out of it is just bonus on top of that. That being said, though, I wouldn't be telling I'd be lying if I said that at certain points where my channel has had a period of success where I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could stop doing my day job and do this full time, you know? So
Mhm.
I think we've all
that's
thought
why I
that
was
at some
off.
point.
I don't know how the finances would work though, because I'm following several people that build cars, and I know they're getting a certain amount of material as sponsorship, but frankly, that's we're talking cars. I mean, one guy bought a Ferrari and ripped everything out of it and is putting a 1,000 horsepower Honda motor in it, turbocharged. And it's fabulous. The guy is an incredible fabricator. But I mean, he's buying so much stuff, you know. I can't.
I think
and yet he's basically working 5 to 6 days and then putting out 2 videos a week.
okay, so he doesn't own like an actual shop that other people are doing work for him.
No, he's always. I mean, he has a shop. I mean, it's this huge.
Well, I mean, is he doing that full time then? Is that YouTube his full time thing?
He must. I mean,
Just
his
because of the
girlfriend
output
comes
he's
to
doing.
the
I mean,
shop.
I'm not so much in the Lego space, but with other YouTubers, the ones who have millions of subscribers, the ones that you'll find that they have multiple revenue avenues of revenue coming in. Like they'll have merchandise, they'll have sponsorships and stuff like that, not just YouTube AdSense like that.
And I understand that because I'm Patreon for several of those kinds of.
Oh yes,
people.
I do owe you a apology, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you know how you're one of my channel members, and as of January 1st, I put a new end screen listing on my channel members. It came to my attention that for the first couple of videos, I listed your name not as Idea Brickworks, but as I Dead Brickworks.
Oops.
So I apologize profusely for that. I have corrected that mistake. I'm very, very sorry.
I thought I saw something at first, and my brain just I see dead people, and I just kept going.
I do have a channel member called Ice Dead People as well. So,
and I think that's why my brain just accepted there was nothing wrong with what you wrote.
Yeah, I am so sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but
I've corrected it now.
Usually, I'm either Idea Brickworks or Scott B Lego because that's
okay. Which would you prefer? So I can put whatever one that you prefer on there.
Both are good. So Idea Brickworks is fine. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
You never said that to me.
What?
Well, never offered me the opportunity to be called whatever I want on there.
You're lucky I don't put on there slag.
Do you know what? That would be an improvement.
In all fairness, when I did the I did that top 10. God, it feels like a lifetime ago now. That all the channel members voted on, and I put up names on there. I said your name is Sam Jones, but I put the text as Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that's why he's waiting for this thing to be built, because then he's just going to literally go on for a whole live stream about how I'm Flash Gordon.
You love it, really. When you send me stuff, you sign it Flash Gordon. Come on.
True. I did send you a Christmas card signed Mr. and Mrs. Flash Gordon.
What do I have you down as on the end screen? I'm gonna have to check that. Do you want to be Sam Jones? Do you want to be the BrickKeeper? What do you want to be?
I'm happy with Sam Jones.
I think what I've done with most people is I've just taken the names from YouTube memberships, so it's whatever's on there, and I think you're down as Sam Jones rather than the BrickKeeper.
Yeah, because that's what I've subscribed as, because that's my that's what I've signed into YouTube as at the time when I pressed subscribe to cut the craggle.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's the one I bought the membership on, so
there we go. Well, yeah, you're on there. Sadly, there will be one name coming down from that because someone's cancelled their membership, but they're paid up for the month, but next month their name will be coming down, I guess.
Wasn't me.
But we were one away from getting the new emoji, and then we lost a couple of people over the Christmas period, but I get that. It is what it is.
So I sign up for like Google surveys. So like every other day, Google sends me a survey to answer a question, and I get a couple pennies from it. like usually like a couple dimes, and I answer enough of those a month. I use that to pay for all my YouTube memberships.
Really?
That's cool.
Mhm. So, yeah. So I figured might as well use it to that because I only can spend it in the App Store. So,
Well, yeah, because they're in one of the guys that I support. He had no mechanical skills whatsoever, but he rebuilt a motor in a 996 Porsche, and it
okay.
actually has started. But
What?
he decided not to do Patreon, but he has got a membership, and I can't remember. It's like $3 a month or something. Is that what you're talking about? You can pay.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I remember
Everybody
when
does
they
that.
first did memberships on YouTube. I mean, obviously they introduced it because so many of their YouTube channels were saying join my Patreon and stuff like that. The two main pros and cons. The main con of having a membership instead of a Patreon is that Patreon take less of a cut than YouTube memberships. But the pro is that it's integrated. So rather than you saying to someone, "Oh, hey, go onto Patreon, sign up for an account, enter your payment details, and then join it," you can just click a button, and if you've already got your details in there, it's done. Which people don't generally like to go to another website and sign up for stuff. It's too much faff, so that's why I ultimately decided, because I was going to do Patreon, but then I kind of was leaning towards membership, so I did a survey and people said they wanted it. In fact, 350 people said that if I did a $5 membership, they would join. I want to know, where are those 350 people? Where are their $5?
Where could they be?
It wasn't someone who was just going through YouTube, like just clicking to get through stuff.
I just figured it was you, Space Time, running like some sort of bot or something.
300 times.
Like $5, 500. Oh yeah, retire off of that. Oh, I'm missing an axle piece.
Oh,
I've got a box full of those.
Oh, can I
I
have
got a
one?
bunch of those too.
So it's the axle with the little the flathead on it to hold it in place.
Oh, this one with the 4-axle, the 4L with the stop.
Yeah. Hold that up to your camera. Let me grab it.
Yeah,
That would have been a cool magic trick to do.
that would
that
have
would be very cool. I just realized behind you got the Avengers mark and also that beautiful Ecto 1.
Yeah, I have a huge backlog now.
That is a big.
So I got the Ecto 1, Winnie the Pooh, Seinfeld, and down here I have Sesame Street, Bad Batch Shuttle, the Marvel Mechs, and then I was thinking about doing a late night stream tonight for these for the Lunar New Year. So
You told us you weren't streaming tonight.
I know.
Oh, you're such a bad friend, Space
I'm
Time.
trying to figure out. Well, I figured I meant like tonight, like when you guys are probably long sleeping.
Okay. I understand.
Not according to Craggle. It
Craggle
sounds like
doesn't
you might be-
I do need sleep, but I just can't get sleep. Sometimes I lay there and go, wouldn't it be great if I could just pay someone to just smack me across the head and knock me unconscious?
Mate, if you want that, I will drive to Wales quite happily now and do
With a
that.
long line of volunteers.
I'm saying Mrs. Craggle would be at the head of
Do
the
you know
list.
what, mate? I'll pay you.
You're a good friend, Sam.
I'll pay you for that. I think that should be included in
Have you
my
ever seen-
membership.
Have you ever seen the film Dog Soldiers?
Yes.
I love the bit where Sean Bean is injured and like they're trying to like stitch him up, and obviously they're like in the middle of like nowhere in a cottage. They haven't got any like painkillers or any real proper medical supplies. And he's like, knock me out. And he's like, what? The other soldier goes, knock me out, because he doesn't want to deal with the pain once be knocked out. So the guy punches him and he just looks at him and goes, is that what you got, you effing pussy? And then he knocks him. It takes him 2 punches to knock him out, which I thought was just great, because how many times in films does someone knock one out with 1 punch first time,
Yep. Exactly.
Man, can I
That's a
keep
good
building?
film.
I think I can keep building.
Have you got the part or?
No, but I think I can put it in later.
It's optional.
Yeah, all parts are optional. Right. On that
Maybe-
note, we've hit and past the 2 hour mark. Oh,
No!
not by a great deal.
Wow. What
Apparently
happened?
that part wasn't optional. I applied pressure and it fell apart.
Oops.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
please.
dropped the bow of the Titanic while I was building it.
Oh.
It actually
no.
came apart much more than what is at the bottom of the ocean. But
So
Sorry, I keep interrupting Sam. He's trying to wrap it up.
it's all right. It's all
My
right.
heart will go on and on.
Oh, that mute button is so good. On that note, I'm gonna hand over to Scott, who's gonna give us a goodbye and tell us what he's up to and where you can get all of Scott's cool stuff.
well, thank you, and I always like you guys, and yeah, so you can get stuff from me from Idea Brickworks on Etsy, on Facebook, and I do have a YouTube channel, although it's been pretty sparse for a while. And I'm a good friend of Sam and Peter. I mean, Spacetime. Sorry. And
But
someday maybe I'll get to meet Crackle, but who knows?
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. Don't forget to check out Scott's Etsy store. The link is in the description below. Craggle.
Well, you're not saving the best to last.
He is.
Of course I am. I'm saving me till last.
Oh, okay. Then.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Host
I finished now the Ghostbusters Afterlife wave of 4 sets. So please, if you haven't already, go check those out. Let me know your thoughts. That is the end of that mini series, but there is a lot more custom projects to come in the future, including our second real Ghostbusters custom Lego set. And obviously, as we mentioned, we are going to be looking to make the instructions available somehow for the Dirt Farm set. And I don't know what other videos are going to come out next exactly, but there will be content, and it will be on my channel, and it will be in the future.
Cool.
And can I also just say how emotional I was listening to Scott talk about me that way earlier?
Did it really tug on your heartstrings?
It did.
Do you know what? Scott has his ways, I tell you. Mr. Spacetime. Or
Hi.
Professor Spacetime.
Well, maybe someday. I don't know. I have a dead YouTube channel. It's dying.
You can hear it screaming in the background.
And it's mostly because I get preoccupied trying to make enough money, and then I'm like, don't have enough time to do all the things I want to do on my channel, and then vice versa. So yeah, I don't know where I'm at. I'm trying to do the best I can. So yeah, maybe we can get another competition going. Try to figure out what laws and stuff I need to follow. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool. Sounds good. I look forward to the next.
This feels less like people go around plugging their channels and more like failing YouTubers Anonymous.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
That's the title of the next stream.
Yeah, really.
Hi, my name is Craggle. I have a dead YouTube channel.
But
It's been approximately
I'm
7
hoping to
days
have
since my last
content
upload.
soon. I do have a 2-hour video that I'm going to put up, but which I got to talk to you about, Sam.
Okay. I look forward to that one. So yes, as for me, this is for Rocket Ajax. It will be built. There will be more live streams as I do it. I don't know. You know, there might be a video. Do you know what? I really struggle to film my own stuff. I wish I just had someone who could do it for me. If I had a little person that I could pay to film stuff for me. But yeah,
You could
I
pay
happily
me.
edit it if I don't hear myself
Hey,
talk.
well, I could do that. I'd do that for you, Sam.
I can edit it. I just don't want to
Wait,
hear
wait.
myself talk. It depresses me.
Scott, you're gonna edit Sam's videos, and
No. I said I'd build it for him.
Oh,
He can edit it.
That's not a bad shout. I could just send Scott all my instructions, make him spend the hundreds of dollars on the parts, and then say, "Tell me what you think."
I have a better chance of having it than you do.
There is that as well. Although you say that, my parts collection is rapidly building because, well, I buy sets, and some of them don't live outside the box anymore.
Right.
Seemingly, when you buy parts for Joe's massive Saturn V thingy, you end up with a lot of Saturn V parts left over. So I've probably got enough parts to build another Saturn V, which I might do.
There you go.
Because why not? So
We all need more Saturn V's in our life.
exactly. I might just send one to Craggle. We'll just send him a box of parts.
No instructions. Here's a picture.
No instructions. Nothing sorted. I'm sorting it by colour. On that note, thank you very much for watching us, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob, Click and Cliff, Mrs. Craggle, Lady Sam, thank you all for joining us. And Scott, Spacetime and Craggle, thank you for joining me on the stream. And we will see you all again next time. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.